Hello, welcome to the rest of this scenario, and then we'll see where we're at. So, last time we began this, and now we shall resume it. Hello, Kango Fango. Oh, that's a nice image. Western Maryland, H9, CSX Hanover subdivision. How expensive is that? Because that looks quite nice. It looks very hilly, it looks foresty. Kango, could you please have a look at how expensive the CSX Hanover subdivision is? Especially since it's the summer sale. The answer is probably too expensive, but it's 50% off, and it still costs 1,249 pence. No, that is too expensive. But it looks great though. Oh, here's the thing I've been thinking about while it's still loading. So, you know the third rail commuter route that I was planning, well, that I am planning with the class 465 that I started to make after the Milton Valley Railroad is going to be through, yeah? Well, I was considering that it might be fun to continue the sentence once we're actually underway. So here we are. Now wait, so what do we need to do here? Couple Blackhawk Depot South track? Oh, do we need to decouple here? Hold on. Drop off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many do we have? Oh, hold on. Does this menu tell you what they're called? Oh yes, it does. So we need to drop off including 8353. So 8353. Oh, all of them. Okay. Now you will be running back through the depot on the depot north track before coupling the front of the locomotive to two coal gondolas on yard siding 3 to take them to bobtail upper siding. Okay, so I'll continue that sentence once we've actually gotten started. So where do we need to go? Alright, so we've got to go back that way and then come back, probably connect onto those two. So it's the switches are aligned. Let's just quickly double check that the fireman is still set. Hello, Mickey, Real Hans Wasser, hello. Okay, that's set to 1. Right. So. Right. The idea that I had was, so originally I wanted, yes, hello, ooh, first time chatter, welcome. So the idea for that trains route, originally, the idea was to just have, well, usually when I make trains routes, I have a rough idea of what I want it to look like in my mind, and then I just kind of make it up as I go along. However, with this route, since I want it to be a bit of a network, and not the distances between the different stations and the different junctions won't be too large for the most part, because I want to get it done in a reasonable amount of time, and it's going to be set in the UK anyway, kind of a Kent, Greater London / Devon area, inspired area. And so I thought, okay, I should probably make a map where I put down the stations and I put down how many tracks the different lines are supposed to have and that sort of thing, so that services that I put on the route are going to be more realistic. What sort of top speed do we have? 12? 12, okay. Yeah, but then I was watching... Well, actually, I was watching a video that Kango recommended. It was about Thomas the Tank Engine, about the kind of the unlike the Unlucky Tug's review of one of the seasons. And I watched that, and then I had a look on his channel, and I saw the thumbnail of his video, his videos about the Island of Sodor map, and explaining that and putting all those scenes on there. Now those videos I had already seen months ago, but it reminded me of them. And so then I remembered all of the lore that got put into that map, and all of that sort of stuff. And so I thought, well, if I'm going to make a trains map with that has an actual map to begin with, like where I draw out the lines beforehand, why not actually give it a whole bunch of lore before we get started with the building? So then I thought that would actually that might actually work quite well in a live stream, from a live stream point of view, because then Twitch chat and or YouTube chat, if people want to comment on the YouTube videos, can play an active part. Oop, that was the wrong junction. For some reason I thought we were going to couple to the backside of our train because I was distracted. No, we need to go the other way. Yeah, so that you can get input into that map as well. And so I thought it might be good to have, while I'm still busy making sessions for the MVR and making the Class 465 and that sort of stuff, I thought it might be fun to have a few live streams about world building where we... Oops, that was the wrong button. Because I was using my left hand, I accidentally put the brake on stronger than I wanted, because I wanted to release it, but that did not work. Anyway, yes, I was thinking that I could prepare a height map, and then like a height map with some rivers and stuff like that. Or maybe we could do that... Yeah, because I was thinking I could prepare that, maybe with World Painter, and export it as a height map. And then we could have live streams where we begin in maybe the Industrial Revolution or that sort of thing, where we put down, or maybe if we put down a couple of towns or specific landmarks, maybe some from medieval times, or maybe like stone circles from even before that, and then we can put down, as we go through, maybe in the Industrial Revolution, there was an iron vein discovered or something like that. And so okay, we've covered up this. We'll now be taking the 2 loaded coal gondolas back to Blackhawk Bobtail Mill upper siding via the lower switchback. Okay, so where are we gonna go? Ghostbuster, no, sorry. Okay, basically just reverse up to there and then put them in that siding. Okay, got it. Yeah, and we can put a whole bunch of lore in it like that. So maybe like in the Industrial Revolution, when they needed more coal or more stuff like that, more prospecting was done, and then we could add maybe a coal mine there, and then we can go forward, like, I don't know, in maybe 10-year steps, 15-year steps, or something like that. And then maybe, so there was a plateway put in first, or like a new company was founded, or maybe one of the industries is going to get really rich off of something, and then they decide to build a plateway or a tramway first, and then that's the name of one of the railway companies, and then later on maybe another one gets formed, and then as we go on, maybe different companies could merge together, or stuff like that. I was thinking could be fun. And so then we could update the map as it develops. and until we eventually get to modern-ish times, where it's going to be set, where the network is going to then, of course, be determined by all of that history. Now, I don't know if this is actually practical, or if, because, I mean, while it does definitely sound like fun, I haven't really thought about this a lot. I've literally just had the idea earlier today, and I don't know if it'll be that practical from a train's route point of view, because some designs of the route layout might be, like if this was a normal train's route, I might say, okay, well, we need to have a little branch line here because, or a little junction here because I want trains to be able to go around a loop this way for sessions, and so we need this thing here. Not for lore reasons, but for gameplay reasons. And if we build the entire map based on lore and history... Oops, I'm messing up on the horns. Anyway, if I'm basing it off of the history entirely, then maybe that could potentially get in the way of... Yeah, this is the siding we need to stop at. Could potentially get in the way of gameplay stuff? Maybe? I don't know. Although it doesn't have to be completely exclusive. Like, we could have all of the lore as a baseline, and then if there is some stuff that maybe could be better from a gameplay point of view, there's no reason why we can't change some of the lore so that it makes for more fun gameplay. Okay, is this going downhill at all? Actually, no, it's gonna go slightly uphill. Oh, actually, no, the locomotive is still going downhill. It's to the other stuff that's going... Okay, it's fine. I'll read chat in a moment. So yeah, so I'm assuming if you've already put what you think of this idea in chat. I love this route, and I have not driven on it enough. Wait a minute, is the brake? Nope, the brakes are released. Is it just... I guess it's just going uphill. Oh yeah, I remember. I looked at the map a moment, well, at the bottom map thing, and yes, we are in fact going uphill. Okay, and then I guess drop these off here. Apply brakes. And then, are we on the thing? Ooh, no, we actually need to go all the way down to where the bumpers are. Interesting. I'll reach out in a moment. Okay, has that done it? I'm assuming it has. Yes, good. Okay, now decouple those. Okay, pull the pin. Right, now you will be returning to Blackhawk Yard to pick up the 2 boxcars on Yard Siding 1 before picking up your train again on the Depot South track. Okay, so, well, we put a reverse to begin with. Let's have a quick look at the map. So we've got to... Alright, so go forward across that and then reverse back onto those and then couple up. Okay, that makes sense. Anyway, I'm going to read chat now. So, yeah, oh, released on 39. Yeah, okay. Oh, yes. Oh, Taylor, yes, hello. Will the map's London be an inland city? The map's London, so the big city on the map, will be... yeah, it won't be on the coast, because I want there to be special coastal trains with hopefully special liveries that go to these holiday these holiday places on the coast. And if the main city where these trains originate from is already going to be on the coast, then that kind of detracts from that a bit. Right, S4, wasn't it? I don't know. I've also heard that Audrey's iOS book, Out of Soda, has a whole lot more lore before steam locomotives were invented. King Godred and all that. The Sudrian language, Soror. Will the entire map be third rail, Shardace? I don't know yet. I don't know. Probably not the whole map, but most of it. It depends on how much other stuff I want to add to it. If the network is big enough with third rail, then that's going to take a long time to make anyway, and so they'll probably not add too much other stuff. But if the actual third rail bit isn't that large, then maybe I'll add some non-third rail things, although the third rail bit is the kind of main special thing about this map, so I think having most of it be third rail would probably be a good thing. Chat could vote on names for historical monarchs, kings, queens, and paint pots. Though I do think you'd need quite an active chat for the lore-making live streams. Perhaps. May to send Willis another paycheck, haha. Andor Bust-Through and Demichu, Mr. Snipes, Slovak Eagle. Not saying they're here, but still. I have seen too much focus on gameplay hurt the realism of a map. Different game, not translated. So I think you should definitely watch out not to put too much focus onto one aspect. Oh yeah, I mean, with trains maps, I do definitely put my focus on the realism of the map first, so that it actually feels like a simulated world that you can get immersed in, and then I get to gameplay stuff. So, like for example with the MVR, the different locations of where the industries are have been specifically selected for gameplay reasons. However, I did specifically also select areas where it would make sense for those industries to be. Like, for example, the logs coming from the mountains or stuff like that. The only exception to that may be, yeah, the breadery, which is in the mountains, and not down in the city where all the fields are. However, you can easily explain that away without it feeling too contrived. But yeah, I think that a balance between the two is of course best. Will you put narrow gauge stuff on that new route? Probably not. Probably not. Because if I make a narrow gauge route, then I want to focus entirely on making that narrow gauge route the best it can be. And that means quite a small route, but that has a lot of detail and a lot of, like really, really a lot of detail and a lot of coziness and that sort of thing. And if I mixed it with the other route, then it kind of would feel a bit like two separate projects, two separate routes that are part of the same thing, even though they're not really that thematically related. So no narrow gauge plus broad gauge? Well, I mean, that's a little bit different, I think. Am I still going the right way? Yes, I am. The junctions are correctly aligned. I mean, with the broad gauge plus narrow gauge thing, when I first played around with TRS 19, that is a bit different because, well, the kind of main interesting bit of that map was really, really old railway stuff, and that is both broad gauge railways and also narrow gauge stuff, so I think that fits much better together than if you, for example, were to say busy British commuters with high capacity and high frequency stuff like Central London and Kent commuter network plus cozy narrow gauge railway. You can see how that kind of maybe doesn't fit as well together and might be better off as two separate projects. Oh, so you'd pull a chorus? No, for copyright reasons. But no, if I did make a narrow gauge route, then it would be larger than the chorus route. But what's the grade like here? Pretty much flat, mostly. Yeah, I'll release the brakes. Yeah, it might be, I don't know, maybe somewhere between 5 and 10 miles, something like, well, yeah, probably between 4 and probably around 5 or 6 miles, but no longer than 10 miles, I'd say. It just depends on how the scenery works out and how much detail I add, whether that is actually necessary or not. I haven't really considered it too much. Okay, so I've just got to pull ahead of these switches. Do I have to pull ahead of all of them? Yes. Brakes. Okay, and now let's see. I think, yeah, we need to switch. Ooh, there was another track there that I didn't see. Ahem. Never mind, come on, a little bit further forward. Okay, there we go. Blech. Oh, I've just imagined you're 465 in the MVR passenger livery. Interesting. An interesting thought, yeah. An interesting thought, but one that I don't think really fits that well. Okay, so that is already correctly aligned, which means I'm just gonna go over to this side. And let's get going. It is lovely driving steam locomotives. By the way, Real Hanswasser, what other game were you referring to? I'm interested now. When you said, I have seen too much focus on gameplay, heard the realism of a map, different game, not trains related. Just out of curiosity. Omsi 2, it's a bus simulator. Oh yes, I know it. I know it. I've even seen Kango Fango's map building live streams on that, although he hasn't done any of those in a long while. But they're archived on his Twitch pages. A lot of them are archived on his Twitch page as highlighted streams. Okay, I've got those. Now we'll be heading, adding the train. Yeah. Okay, I know. Okay, so now we've got to pull ahead of all the switches again, and then reverse our train, back it up onto the stuff we brought down, and then who knows what we'll do. Actually, let's quickly quick save first. So, do you make any maps for any of these kind of games, or is it just an interest of yours? Real Hanswasser, of course, not Kangafango, because I know the answer if I were to ask that to Kangafango. I think we can apply brakes now, especially since we're going downhill. Okay, now switch this switch, and I shall go to the map for the rest. Okay, I need to switch that one as well, and then it's time to gracefully reverse. Ahem, I said gracefully reverse. There we go, just wait for the brakes to release. I have streamed it many a times in the past. Yeah, only started archiving at 20, but I did download all of them and plan to putting them on my YouTube channel eventually. Started streaming in 2020. I've spent some time in the OMSI 2 editor, but never finished anything. Yeah, the OMSI 2 editor has quite a few flaws that I would just find too frustrating to really do anything in it, I think. I haven't tried in a long time. But yeah, chief among which is the fact that you can't undo in the game. In the editor, I mean. And the undo feature is something that I rely on quite heavily in trains. And the other thing is that apparently, you can't really search for assets, right? Like there's no way to filter, like do text search for assets or that sort of thing. Yes. Plus also the fact that you can't just copy and paste assets, because that's another thing in trains where you can just box select an area of the terrain, copy all of the assets, then paste it somewhere else. You are now ready to continue to Black Hawk Water Tank, where you will be stopping. Good. But yeah. I shall quickly pause and then read. Though I did finish and release a few repaint packs. I know, yes, nice. I even started a bus for OMSI 2, a British one, the National Mark 1, but I've also yet to finish its interior and get it in the game properly. Started late 2019. Cumberstone? Sure is. Did you ever try OMSI 2's map editor? No. I did try OMSI 1's. Why is that woman in a dress in the snow? Well, it's a sunshiny day. Also, hello. Welcome to what I think is either 19th century USA or early 20th century USA. Look, this is a narrow gauge locomotive, and look at how large it is. Look, we're in the I think these are the Rocky Mountains. This is in Colorado, I believe. And yeah, the woman is wearing a snow because this is how Train Simulator works. Also, look, on this loco, if I turn on the bell, it's actually animated. Look. And if I open the cylinder cocks, then it'll actually blow steam out. Okay. Yeah, this is a really very well made map. And you can see that if I... Actually, this isn't... Oh yeah, it's internal. That's fine. But yeah, this is a very well made map. So we need to go where? Oh, down here, to there. Okay, that's fine. So basically just stop when we get to the water tank. Right. Hey, apparently my summoning worked, haha. Yeah, because I was talking about world building history for my next trains map world. I might maybe doing that on stream so that viewers can have input on things like town names or historical events on the map world and stuff like that. And Kanga suggested getting other people who sometimes watch my streams on specifically for those streams, if I do intend to do, if I do eventually do that, which I don't know yet, it's just an idea. And so, yeah, Kango tried summoning, and apparently it worked. Okay, so... it's going quite well. Although I need to make sure that I don't surpass 12 miles per hour. Should be good. Right. Well, they made custom Western passenger assets for this route. The route's seasonal, the passengers not so much. Dinner time! Show us the firebox, very nice. Oh, we want to see the firebox? Okay. There it is, look. There's the interior of the locomotive. And you can see all of these dials up here actually do work. And all of the levers in here and all that sort of stuff. So theoretically you can drive this locomotive completely without any sort of heads-up display. Blow that steam at the poor frostbitten lady. Really? Really? Because at the moment the locomotive is running at a boiler pressure of about 150 psi. And I think that superheated steam, well, I'm not sure if it's superheated, it might be superheated. It probably is, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Probably not a good idea to directly blow that steam onto anybody. But maybe. Also, look, Kango, a log flume. I didn't... Oh no, we're coming up on the water tower, that's fine. Ooh, I just remembered. We're gonna need a bigger thumbnail. Okay, release the throttle. And turn that off. And thumbnail and brakes on. Okay. Yeah, so I overshot the water tower a little bit with the locomotive, but I think it's fine if any of the train makes it on. Yes. And we only ever lost 1 point. It does. I also mentioned chat being able to potentially come up with past monarchs, fictional kings, queens, etc. But yeah, Gregonich. That's not copyrighted yet, but don't copyright that. Well done, scenario complete. Nice. Okay, that took half an hour-ish. So we'll have a look at what the next locomotive would be. Because I'm trying to go through all of the locomotives I have for this game. All of the ones that make sense. Yeah, -1 point for one-time emergency brake setting on accident. I think that's a pretty good run. What would be next? The Sharknose, Baldwin RF16 PRR. Now this only has, yeah, this is night switching, which probably isn't that great. Preparing a train in Altoona. Well, that's half an hour working with sharks. So you must work with 2 shark nose to assemble a train. Why do these not have any sort of road scenarios? It's only switching. Do they have standard scenarios? 1 second. I'll get to chat in a moment. Oh right, yeah, I'm yeah, we're gonna get all the locomotives eventually that only have the standard scenarios that don't have career ones. Did I already pass it? I feel like I've already passed it. Oh no, we did the where is it? I don't think I passed it, did I? Maybe it's not in here. It probably doesn't actually have any standard scenarios now that I'm looking at it. Okay, well, let's try this one. Your task today is to assemble a train of empty hoppers, which will depart later tonight. Use your 3 Baldwin RF-16s to put together the consist and leave the train in the assigned track where it will await for departure. Although, looking at it, with lag and with reading chat, this one will probably be better because, yeah. Hey, it's another snow one, so that's nice. Today you must work with 2 shark nose to assemble a train with the wagons parked in South Fork. Don't forget to couple the caboose at the end of the train before finish, then go via South Fork YS to the main line where you must stop the train to complete the job. Keep an eye on the weather and the other on the switches. Good luck. Sure, let's try this one. Right. Ooh, I'll quickly stop and start my stream, so I've got it as 2 parts. So, well, actually, yeah. So I'll see you in a moment, and bye.